Hello, Divorce Network. I'm cooperative divorce attorney Erika Englund, and the holidays are coming up. So if you're divorced, whether you're just going through it now or you've been divorced for many years, then this can be a particularly stressful time for you. And all of us at Split Decisions really want to help you live your best divorce life. We want you to have your best holiday season and have some great tips for you today to have a happy holiday. One of the things that makes holidays so stressful during a divorce period is because they're nostalgic. So holidays make us think about the great times we had in our childhood and we want to replicate those. Or sometimes they bring up broken memories of holidays from our childhood and we want to fix those. We also have a desire to give our children a magical holiday. And all of this really creates a lot of pressure for parents. If you're going through a divorce, even if you've been divorced for quite a few years, you're operating under a lot of pressure anyway, because divorce life is not always easy. So when these two things combine, it can make the holiday period especially difficult. And we have 5 great tips for you today, beginning with the first thing that you are doing totally wrong. And it's not your fault you're doing it wrong, because when I did the research for our radio show on this topic, and you can find that, by the way, at splitdecisions.pro, a whole show about holidays, and it's a fantastic show, so check it out. When I did the research for it, I kept running into books, articles, and media that were all just perpetuating this terrible theme about holidays. So it's not your fault that you're thinking about it wrong, but I want to set you straight. Number 1 tip, quit trying to survive the holiday season. When we look at it as something that we need to survive and we frame it in that light, it's causing 2 problems. The first problem really is that it's perpetuating a drama of this being some terrible thing that you have to live through, and taking away the idea that you have choice in the matter and that you have the ability to create a holiday that you and your children will love, that you don't have to survive anything. You begin the holiday season by committing to enjoy it rather than survive it. And that alone should change your outlook. The second reason that this is a problem is it really takes the focus away from your children and puts it on you. So I see a lot of people saying, it's my first Thanksgiving without my children, or I'm going to be very lonely this Christmas when I don't have my kids. And what you're forgetting when you're in that mindset is it's also your child's first holiday without you. If you can look at it from that perspective, then you can begin considering how to give your child a great holiday, even if they're not with you on the actual day. So again, rather than thinking, oh, it's my first Thanksgiving alone, and I'm feeling sad and lonely about that, we're asking you to flip the paradigm on that and think, this is my child's first Thanksgiving without his mom, without his dad, and how am I going to make it great for him? The best way that you can do this, if you have an amicable relationship or can pretend to for 12 hours, is to share the holidays with your former spouse so that your children have the opportunity to have both of their parents there at the holidays. If you can't do that, super easy fix. Just create a holiday on a different day. So rather than having Christmas Eve at your house, have Christmas Eve at your house. Your children are not going to necessarily remember that they didn't have Christmas Eve with you, but they're going to remember the great memories that they had surrounding the Christmas or the holiday period. So step 1, get away from surviving the holidays and commit this year to enjoying the holidays. Take yourself out of the center of your narrative and put your child in the middle. If your child is spending the holiday away from mom or dad, how are you going to make that a great experience for your child? Either together with your former or by adjusting your own schedule. Second tip for you is that, and this is one of the themes of Split Decisions, it's really important to set expectations with your children and with your former. Particularly if this is the first year divorcing, your children really might be worried about what the holiday is going to look like for them. Small children get concerned that they have created a problem and may be very worried that they're not going to get a Christmas because they have created a divorce. Older children, bless them, are more narcissistic and want to know, how many presents am I going to get? Am I still going to get to go skiing? But all of these things are just manifestations of anxiety because your children don't know what the holiday will actually look like. So set expectations by talking with them. You're going to be having Christmas Eve with Daddy's family, and then Mom's going to pick you up, and we'll have Christmas Day, and everybody's having hot cocoa. Whatever it is, give them the things to look forward to and give them some parameters. It's also really important to set expectations with your former spouse. You might have a court order that says you alternate holidays, but that court order might not fit in with this year's schedule. Or you might have a court order that says they're handled by agreement. In either case, it's important to have that discussion with your spouse as early as possible so both of you are on the same page. Holidays in particular, it's really easy to accidentally create schedule conflicts. So dealing with it sooner rather than later to set everybody's expectations is really a key tip we have for making this a good, happy holiday season for you. Third, consider the traditions. First, the traditions that you already have in place. So if your family meets on Christmas Eve every single year, speak with your former about whether it's okay for you to have the children on Christmas Eve every single year, and your former can have them on Christmas Day or on Thanksgiving. Prioritize the holidays that are important to you. Let your former prioritize what's important to him or her, and then work around those traditions that you have in place. I have a tradition where I go out with my girlfriends on December 23rd every year. I've known them my whole life. We've done it for decades. And so my former husband knows that December 23rd is his night with the kids, and he gets to do something special with them on December 23rd every single year. So this is also not just about what you're doing with your children, but what obligations or activities you might have where you need to not be with your children. The second component of traditions that we really recommend here is starting new ones. This is such a great time to create some new, beautiful memories with your children, and it can be very, very small. At my house, we have eggnog French toast for Christmas every Christmas morning, and it's a really simple thing to do, but it's an important component of our family household. We also have a reverse advent calendar because I bought an advent calendar and realized I had to buy 25 gifts to put inside of it and thought that is way too high level parenting for me. So I created instead a reverse advent calendar where the little ones do a chore and get $1, stuff it in the pocket, and then at Christmas they get to pull the money out, decide how much to keep for themselves, and decide how much to give to charity. It's a really fun tradition. Watching their negotiation on Christmas Day is hilarious, and it is something that we get to look forward to every year. The other benefit of new traditions is it helps you stop comparing this holiday with holidays past. Things aren't going to look the same going forward. You may not have the same traditions, so it's a great time to give you something else to look forward to. Fourth, we want you to use this time of year to be generous with your time, with your positive energy, with your money. When you're a single parent, all of these things are limited, and absolutely no one understands that more than me. As a divorced parent and a cooperative divorce attorney, I live this life. But this is the time of year, if any, where you can find someone who needs your time, your money, your generosity, particularly if this person is your former spouse, needs some flexibility with the schedule, needs a favor, needs some new tires on their car. It's a wonderful time of year to find a way to give and to show your children that you're giving. Finally, this is quite simple, but we absolutely recommend that you do you this holiday season too. Divorce is stressful, holidays are stressful, and it compounds to create a really difficult time. So at the beginning of this holiday season, we would like you to set an intention for what you want your holiday to look like. And then when activities invitations, obligations come along, you can ask yourself, is this in line with my vision for my holiday this year? And if it's not, just say no. There might be a year where you can do all of those things, but right now you're dealing with divorce. You have a lot of pressures. It is not the year for those things that are not in line with your vision. So create an intention for what you want, act in alignment with that vision, and give yourself a present. Even if it's something small, a really nice bubble bath, if it's a handbag you've been wanting, or a day off of work just to take a nap or binge watch Netflix, give yourself a present so you have something to look forward to. And if you're used to getting a present from your former spouse and you don't get one, then you have something there that you've given yourself. So this holiday season at Split Decisions, we want you to start by throwing away the idea that you have to survive the holidays. You don't. You can enjoy them. It's absolutely possible if you change your framework. So take yourself out of I am alone on Christmas and put yourself into my child is without me on Christmas. And then you're able to create some flexibility with giving them a wonderful holiday. Be generous with your time, with your money, with your energy. Set expectations early with your children and with your spouse. Don't forget that this is a crucial time for you to take care of you as well. Work in alignment with whatever your vision is for the holiday season. And then finally, consider your old traditions, but also start something new. It's a wonderful time for it. And along with the rest of these tips, we guarantee that these things are going to help you in any way divorce impacts your family have a better holiday season. You can find out more and read our blogs along with more information on Happy Holidays at splitdecisions.pro. Thanks a lot for joining us. I'm Erika Englund.